right, always a pleasure to have my next guest on the show. Brendan All In Allen is back, and he's coming off a round 2 RNC win over Sam Alvey. Brendan, how are you?
Good, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's nice to see you again, especially after a win. Smiling Sam, a fan favorite. He's always in there smiling. He brings a good pace to each and every fight. What was your game plan? Obviously, stepping in on short notice against a 205er in Alvey.
I didn't really have too much of a game plan. It was 3 days notice. I wasn't really training too much, so I was just trying to keep it at my pace, which luckily Sam's a guy that has a pretty slow pace. So I knew that I could dictate that. And so that was really the only thought in my head was just dictate the pace, go when I want to go, and kind of hang back when I want to hang back. And I hadn't been sparring much. I only sparred one time before the fight. So it took me a round just to get the pace, the distance, just that feeling back again of everything else. But it was good. It was just there was no real time to think. I was so busy with medicals to get cleared because it's a new year. Flying out because I found out on Tuesday evening, and luckily there was no weight cut. So I was just more worried about cardio, to be honest. I wasn't sure if my cardio could hold for what I wanted it to hold. If I fought how I was planning to fight, and my next fight after the Curtis fight, but it went well, so no complaints.
Yeah, and clearly you got the finish there in the second round. Run us through how that presented itself, and are you happy with the ultimate outcome? Are you pleased with getting it done in round 2?
I'm just happy to get a win, to be honest. Short notices haven't been good for me because I've been on the Sam side as far as you're training for an opponent, another opponent, whatever, and you get a week, whatever, however far out. Usually, last one was a week for me. The one before that was a couple weeks. So, yeah, I've been on the side he's on. It's just not fun. It's just hard to do mentally, at least for me. I can't speak for everyone else, but for me, it's very hard to wrap my head around that because you go through training, you're feeling great, you're feeling good, you're feeling confident for whoever you're fighting, and then you get another guy, and whether it's 2 pullouts, 1 pullout, 3, 4, it doesn't matter for me. It's just like you train for this one guy, and then a week later, let's just say 2, which I don't think I've had 2 since Dawkins. I think Dawkins was 2 weeks. All the other ones have been a week or less. And but you go through that period of you don't know if you're gonna fight. And for me, I'm just starting to get to that place in my life where it's okay, I don't have to fight exactly to make money. I'm not fully there yet, but I'm working on it. So for me, I have to fight. When I'm scheduled to fight, I have to fight, and just financially. So you go through that period where you're like, am I gonna fight? What's gonna happen if I don't fight? All these questions start coming up in your head, and you're like, oh shit, I got kids, I got bills, and they don't stop for nobody. So then you finally get an opponent, and you're like, well, it doesn't even matter. We got a week left. There's not really too much you can change. So you're basically going off of muscle memory from your prep that you've been doing for 6, 8, 10 weeks before, and it can either be a good thing or a bad thing. And I'm one of those guys. I have to watch tape. I have to study. I have to do my homework, and really amp them up in my head. And I guess on them short notice, what I say is what I mean. So if I say something, I mean it. And sometimes that's not good because even when I say things for fights that I've been preparing for 8 weeks, if I say it's not that good here or it's not that good here, I still have built him up for 6 weeks thinking he's the best guy in the world. So come fight night, there's a little nerves, there's a little not scared, but intimidation as far as am I going to be okay here? Am I going to be as good as I think I am in certain positions? So I don't know. It's a long drawn out answer, but it's just it sucks to be on that end, at least for me. So I'm just happy that I was on this end this time, and the gamble paid off.
Yeah. So how did you feel at 205? I mean, is this something where you feel like maybe this is a weight class that you could make a run at, or do you feel like, still moving forward, 185 is where you need to be?
Yeah, I'm still going to stay at 85. I still feel I'm a big 85er. The cuts are kind of hard. but they're not terrible. Like, I do them very healthy, I feel. There's nothing that the way that I do it is unhealthy to my future as far as my body. Um, so I'm just gonna stay at 85 until it just gets to a point where I don't want to anymore, or like I can't, and then I'll go up. But eventually, yeah, I'll go up to 205, and that was always the plan. I always wanted to test the waters at 205 and see how I felt, how it was, and it was nice that I didn't have to cut any weight because I just cut weight a few weeks before, and I keep my weight kind of low when I'm not training, so because I'm not really that hungry. So weight was already low. I only cut like 2 pounds, and I just worked it off the night before, pads, messing around with my friends. So it was nice though. But eventually I'll go there, and I was a little chubby at 205 because I ain't been doing nothing. But when I officially go to 205, I'll put on a little bit more mass and do it how it should be done.
Did you feel any added pressure going in against Sam? Because he hasn't won in a while. He's had a lot of losses. He's only had one draw in like his last 7 or 8 fights. The rest have been L's. Did you feel that added pressure to go in there and win this one?
To be honest, at this point in my career, I don't really feel pressure anymore. At least from like winning a fight or losing a fight, as far as like how do I word it? Like from outside people, as far as, oh, you got to win this fight, or this, or he hasn't done this, so you should win. I don't really feel pressure from that anymore. For me, the pressure comes from like, damn, I need to win this fight so I can buy this, or things like that. I used to get the pressure as far as like I got to win this fight to jump my career and this and that, but I don't know. I feel like I've been around it so long and been around all the bull crap and all the crap talking for so long that it just really doesn't affect me anymore. I don't really care what people say. My check is the same either way, no matter what people say or what they don't say. And I, as long as it comes to a point, like as long as it's at a point where people just leave me alone when I'm at home, they don't bother me out in public, I'm good. I just like being normal when I'm home and just try to stay out of that
For sure, man.
crap scenario with the he said, she said stuff. If I'm going to say something, I want to say it directly to the person or the closest to as direct as possible, whether that be through social media where you're tagging them or at them or whatever. But
I did want to ask you too, man. The last time that I did talk to you was right before the Chris Curtis win. Obviously, that one didn't go your way, and I'm sure it's not what you were expecting to happen. What did you learn from that fight, man? Is there something that you can point towards why you suffered the L there?
There's not really one particular thing. I mean, I'm not a guy for excuses. Things happen how they're supposed to happen in my eyes, and I felt I was winning the fight fairly easily. Maybe I just wasn't as focused as I should have been, for whatever the case may be, and he caught me. It was that simple for me. I had muscle memory going for two orthodox guys, and I thought I changed everything going for the southpaw, and I didn't. I'm able to drop my left hand and throw the right on an orthodox guy in that same position, same scenario, because he can't hit me. I don't have to worry about nothing from that side in certain circumstances. And I do have it with a southpaw, and that muscle memory got me. I was doing it for 8 weeks, and yeah, it got me this time. But it is what it is, man. I just got caught. I still feel I'm better, but I mean, I guess everyone does, you know.
Is that a rematch that you're hoping to have in the future, or are you just not really caring at this point? You just want to get in there, fight, and rack up wins?
Yeah, of course. I always want, fights that I lost because I felt better. But like I said, everyone does, and I'd like to have that rematch when I'm healthy and when everything's all right in my life. But that's whatever, man. It is what it is. Chris is a super cool guy. I've talked to him after, and he wants to come train and at Sanford, and of course, like I said, I'd like to fight him again, but I'm not out here anymore chasing losses. If they happen, they happen. If it happens, I'm gonna take care of business, and I'm gonna show that they're flukes. But it is what it is at this point. I'm just in my own lane, doing my own thing, not really worried about everyone else and what they're doing and what they're saying. I'm with Dominance and Ali and all that, and Ali now, so I'm just doing whatever Ali tells me to. He's got many champions. He's got great fighters, and so whatever he tells me to do and whoever he says will fight is what I'm going to do. I put the trust in him, and I'm always here to fight any man on the whole roster. So we'll see what happens, but I'm just in my own lane, and if it happens, it happens.
What was your thoughts on the Sean Strickland, Jack Hermanson outcome? Were you impressed by Strickland in there, or did you feel like, it was kind of a weaker performance than we're used to seeing out of him?
To be honest, I didn't watch the whole fight. I've seen little lights here and there, but I didn't really watch it. From all I can say is like he just jabbed him to death, and Hermanson didn't set up his takedowns well enough, and Sean had good takedown defense. From what I seen, that's all I could catch off of. But like I said, I didn't watch the whole thing and I didn't study it, so not too much I can put on that one.
Did you run into him at all during fight week? Was there any words exchanged if you guys saw one another?
Yeah, I mean, he comes up to me and my boy Tuco are like a duo. Whenever it's fight week for him or I, we're always together. So he come up to us and was talking to us, and it's all good. He's crazy. I think everyone knows he's crazy. Like, he's just a weird guy. He's so weird. He's funny, but sorry.
All right. And I did want to get your take on the Whitaker Adesanya title fight. Do you think it was scored right, or do you feel like maybe Bobby Knuckles should have won that one?
Dude, to be honest, I didn't watch that one either. I was in Illinois pheasant hunting, and there was literally no service, and all the Wi-Fi was out. It just happened to be like that weekend that all the Wi-Fi was out. So all I got to see was a little bit of the Casey O'Neill fight, the fight before her, and one after her. I don't even remember, to be honest. But yeah, I didn't get to watch the fight. I asked my friends about it, and they were just like, "Man, he took Izzy down, but his ground and pound didn't look great, and his top control didn't look great either." But they said it was kind of a lackluster fight, from what I heard. I don't know though.
Yeah, maybe you can catch one of the replays whenever it's out there and available. I know you're getting ready to go in to get some rehab done, but one last question before I let you go, Brendan. Time frame, next fight. When are you hoping to jump back in there?
Man, hopefully we'll get International Fight Week. I think that's at the end of June or sometime in June. So my goal is no later than the end of June. I want to be back before July. So International Fight Week, I've come to the point in realization that I'll never get a bonus no matter how I win. I could walk out there and just slap somebody and knock them out, and I'm not going to get a bonus. So I've come to that realization, and I was at that realization before, and then this just happened where it was short notice, and I won and whatever. I thought I'd get it, and I didn't get it. So I was like, no, I'm really written off. Like, I've wrote it off about that. So for me, I'd rather just be on cards that are really good cards that bring a lot of viewers and just get more eyes on me. So I feel like International Fight Week's a good time for that.
All right. Is there a name? Anyone that pops out, or are you just taking all comers?
I mean, all comers, of course. I'm always down for whatever, but I feel like now might be a good time for that Eric Anders rematch. We're both coming off. Well, I'm coming off a win now, but he's coming off a loss, but maybe that. But honestly, I don't really care. Like I said, Ali is who I'm leaving it in the hands of. Whatever he says, whoever he says, that's who's going to get the business, hopefully in June.
Awesome. Always great talking to you, my man. Before I let you go, tell people where to follow you on social media, and if you have anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
All right, man. Thank you for having me, as always, man. I really appreciate it. Follow me on Instagram at B_Allen185, Brendan Allen MMA on Twitter, and then Brendan Allen on Facebook. I've got so many sponsors. I've got a really great group. It's hard to always remember them off the top of my head, but Carry Construction, First Form, DTL Injury Law, Wex Gunworks, and of course, I got to give it to my team at Sanford MMA and Henry Hoof, Jason Stroud, Greg Jones, Corey Peacock, and then just everyone down there, man, for helping me out. And I can't wait to do it again, but this time on a full camp and show a little something different that people haven't seen.